Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Discover Your Intuitive Self. And I am your host, Brenda Reading. Well, tonight, folks, we're going to talk about a place that is near and dear to my heart. We're going to talk about Lilydale Assembly, the world's largest center for the religion of spiritualism. Lilydale Assembly is located about an hour south of Buffalo, so that should tell you where it is. And I'm so excited because the catalog for the classes in the season just went online this week, and you can find that at www.lilydaleassembly.org. And in there you will find the beautiful catalog and everything you need to know for the season. But I thought we would just take this show to talk about Lilydale and how great it is and all the things that you can do there. I just want to say that it's personal for me, Lilydale, because like you, I was going through my spiritual unfoldment and I was beginning to recognize my intuitive gifts, and I just really didn't know what to do about it or where to go. And I know that when the first time I went there, after I walked through the gates and I felt the energy and I met some of the people and I saw what they had to offer, I felt like I was in the right place. And for the first time in my life, I did not feel like I was weird or that I had things going on with me that were not perfectly normal and acceptable. And I also knew that if I chose to, that I could be taught to further open up these natural gifts. So Lilydale is very unique in that it's a beautiful place of tolerance and acceptance. So I just want to tell you a little more about it if you haven't heard about it before. So season opens Friday, June 25th at noon, and there will be a beautiful butterfly release ceremony. And you can get all of your tickets online as of March 31st. Now, everything is a little subject to change, so be patient with that, especially due to COVID. But as of right now, the gate fee is the same as it was, $15, unless you are over 80, under 17, have an active military ID. They also have specials. They have an evening pass, a weekend pass, a season pass, and they also have a preseason special that you can find online, which I believe it is $120 for 10 24-hour passes. So that's a good deal. But you have to get that before June 24th, okay? So what I want to talk about is what can you do with your gate pass, right? Let's say that you haven't signed up for a class and you just go there to experience beautiful Lilydale. There is so much to do. There are everyday activities that with your gate pass you are invited to attend. There is a meditation service at 8:30 in the morning. There's a healing service in the Healing Temple from 10:30 to 11:30, and that is subject to change with COVID, so you'll have to check the website to see what's going on with that. But they also do their healing services online Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m., and they can also have you sit in the Healing Temple. It's a beautiful place to sit and meditate and reflect, okay? Then there are different demonstrations by the registered and visiting mediums during the day where they will be demonstrating their clairvoyance and different intuitive gifts. And these services are held at various times during the day. One's at 1 o'clock at Inspiration Stump. The next is 4 o'clock at Forest Temple. And then again at 5:30 at Inspiration Stump. There is also a 2:30 worship service where you can actually go and see what a spiritualist worship service is like. And they will also have an inspirational speaker and healing and a message service at the worship service. So these are all things that you can attend during the day that come with your gate pass, okay? There are also beautiful things to see at Lilydale, especially if you're a nature lover. Lilydale is a certified wildlife habitat, and they have a variety of nature trails. The beautiful Leolin Woods is an old-growth forest. What that means is that if things happen to fall over or, die. They just left there, and it returns to the forest the way it's supposed to be. There is no interference by man. So it's a beautiful old growth forest. There also is the butterfly habitat that I mentioned earlier. And then there is a labyrinth too that you can go and walk through. And as you walk the labyrinth, you meditate and you reflect. And it's a beautiful little labyrinth there. They also have a pet cemetery with different pets throughout the cemetery that you can walk through. It's very quiet and calm. There also is the Lilydale Fairy Village. Elementals such as fairies and gnomes and different things have been known to scatter about in the Lilydale Fairy Village. I personally haven't seen one yet, but I'm hoping that I will this summer. There's also the Fox Memorial Garden. The original Fox sisters from Hydesville, New York, their home was purchased by a Mr. Bartlett from Cambridge Springs, Pennsylvania. Now, I'm doing some genealogy into that because my maiden name is Bartlett. Wouldn't it be quite interesting if I was related to the gentleman that bought the Fox sister house and moved it to Lilydale, right? Unfortunately, in 1955, it burned, and but they do have a nice little memorial there, and some of the artifacts from the original house are in the Lilydale Museum, which is another place that you can visit with your gate pass. It's a historic one-room schoolhouse built in 1890, and it's located at the corner of Library and E Street across from the Healing Temple. There's all types of Susan B. Anthony displays and Fox family memorabilia, and they have an extensive collection of spiritual newspapers, magazines, and pamphlets, all kind of really neat historical items in the Lilydale Museum. Another place that you can visit while you're in Lilydale with your gate pass is the Marion H. Skidmore Library. It has the largest collection of spiritualist books in the world. They have a reading room available for public use because they have thousands of rare books and unique titles to choose from. They do not allow the books and different things to leave the library. It's a non-circulating research library, but it is open, usually from 10 to 4, and even on Sunday, 1 to 5. So that's another place that you can visit while you're in Lilydale. Some of the other things that you can do while you're in Lilydale is they have a beach. Yes, they also have a beach. So you can visit the beach while you're there. And they also have wonderful shops. One of my favorites, Crystal Cove, is there. Then they have the bargain shop. If you're looking for crystals or, incense or information about spiritualism, information about all the many different aspects of intuition that we've talked about on this show, the bookstore, Lilydale Bookstore, the bargain shop, Crystal Cove, they are wonderful places to visit and take a look around. They have many unique items. There's also a newer shop called Once Upon a Thursday, which I haven't visited yet, but I'm looking forward to do that this summer, and something called the Cran Salt Cave. That's pretty new, and I haven't been able to get there yet either, but it's something I'd like to see. And each one of these shops are unique in their own way. Also, there are places to eat while you're at Lilydale. And the Lilydale Cafeteria, the Sunflower Cafe at the Pagoda, Abby's Place in Leolin Hotel, which I think is also a new place, and Lucy's Coffee House. They also have many different places to stay. There's the Victorian era Maplewood Hotel, the Leolin Hotel, and several private guest houses and a campground. So let's see, what have we talked about so far? We've talked about the daily events that go on pretty much, and then we've talked about the different places you can visit. One other thing I'd like to talk about is the weekly events, okay? For a nominal fee, okay, and I mean like $10, $20 on top of the gate pass, okay, you can attend these weekly events. And each night offers something different and exciting. Let's start with Mondays. Monday nights, they have something called Monday Night Circles. And that's where you get to sit in a circle with a registered medium or visiting guest mediums that have been approved, and you can get a message there. You get a feel for how the different mediums work, because as we've talked, right, everybody does it a little differently because everyone has different intuitive gifts. Tuesday nights, they have something called Adventures with Spirit. And this also is a nominal fee for $10. And each week, they will have a different topic. This will be taught by the registered mediums. So it's like a mini workshop every week at Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Then on Wednesday nights, they have a thought exchange at 7 o'clock. And, you get to listen to different various viewpoints and topics. There is Astrology Discovery. That's a $20 fee, and that's also at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday. And every week they have a different astrology topic. Very exciting. Then at 8 o'clock on Wednesday evenings, they have a ghost walk. And really, it's a walking tour of the whole village of Lilydale, and with very experienced people. I believe it's Ron Skowronski and Ray Taft. So they're going to be leading those ghost walks. Thursday evenings, there's a development circle at 8 o'clock with Marion Steiner and Joanne Copley-Nigro. Now, this is online. It's at $10, but they have been doing this circle all year pretty much online. So this will continue. Friday evenings, guess what? If weather permits, they have a drumming circle at the beach, and that starts at 6:30, okay? Saturdays, it's a little different. They offer a morning yoga class, and then they have the list of the services that we talked about before, and another thought exchange at 7 o'clock. Now, sometimes they have really special events going on Saturday nights. So when you go online and look at the catalog, you can see all the great events they have coming up. Really too many for us to talk about tonight, okay? So I would suggest that you do go online and take a look at the new catalog. It's really quite exciting. Now, the other thing they have is on Sundays, it's a little different because they have a Sunday morning worship service, which is free, okay? You don't have to pay a gate pass to get in if you're going in for the church service, okay? And that's at 10:30 to noon. And then another walking tour with Ron Skowronski. And then there's an all-message service at 4 o'clock from 4 to 5, which we'll have another chance to see how the different mediums work, giving the messages to the people there. And then there is an evening home circle. Oh, I forgot. No, that's not correct. There's an evening home circle on Friday night with Simon Cadulo. Okay? So we've pretty much talked about the different things that are going on during the week and at night that are inclusive of your day pass plus a nominal fee. All right? Now, the classes range from anything you can think about as far as mediumship, right? Stuff that we've talked about on this show, meeting your spirit guides, how to connect with your loved ones, enhancing your connection, learning the symbols, with your work. And then there's astrology classes, and there's tarot, and there's psychic investigation, and manifesting, and crystals, and gemstones, and healing. I mean, it's just so broad spectrum, the type of classes that they're offering this year. The other thing is that many of them, and I don't know exactly the number, but many of them, including mine, are going to be offered online via Zoom as well. So if you can't make it to Lilydale, you can still take advantage of the wonderful classes and presenters that they bring in for you. Or if, whatever happens this summer in regards to the pandemic, which hopefully everything is going to be changing and getting back to semi-normal, right? I do know, of course, you can always go to Lilydale to schedule an appointment or, knock on the door or sign up for a reading from the many registered Lilydale mediums. Now, registered, that means that they have been rigorously tested and proven how good they are at connecting with spirit and your spirit loved ones. Okay, so making appointments with them, that would be a great thing to do while you're down there. They also have an online class schedule that runs from September through May of 2022. And it's printed in the catalog, which is fabulous. I mean, they just have so many things going on that it's unbelievable down there. So I'm so happy that at the thought of Lilydale being open this summer, even if we have to have some restrictions, even if we have to wear masks, right, and we're all vaccinated, I'm still so excited for the season to come. They also have great events, like every year they have a Women's Day, and you can learn about the suffragettes and the different women that helped secure the right to vote for women. And they also have a Children's and a Teens Week, which this year will be online, okay? They have musical events. They have all kinds of things going on. They have, just to name two of the people that are coming to talk and teach, Sue Stush, who was on with me here twice, she had talked to me about a show, the Holzer Files, okay? And one of the stars of the show is Cindy Kazaa, and she is a very accurate medium, and she is going to actually be coming to Lilydale to do a couple of classes, and I believe a gallery. So she's on the Travel Channel. Very, very exciting. Also, Peter Woodbury from the Edgar Cayce Institute in Virginia Beach, Virginia, he's coming to do a class too. There's just many great presenters coming, and you can check that out online. And I think, like they said, the classes become available to buy your tickets, hopefully March 31st. So with that, I'm going to tell you about my two classes that I'm so privileged to be able to teach there this summer. The first one is called There Is No Goodbye, and that is Tuesday, July 20th from 2 to 5 p.m. And like I said, this will be online as well. So you don't have, if you can't make it to Lilydale to be in person for my class, we can do this just like this. We can do the class together online. And I'll just read you the description. One of the foundational tenets of spiritualism is that the soul lives on. We've talked about that. Many of the world's leading religions also share this premise. Even though they are busy with their soul growth on the other side, our spirit loved ones can and they do connect with us. There are ways we can become better receivers of their spirit communication. So we're going to explore how we can recognize the various ways spirit communicates with us, how our emotions can affect our ability to connect. We've talked about that too, but I'll give you some tools to help with that. And how to enhance your spiritual senses, a guided journey to meet your spirit loved one. And then we'll talk about real life stories of why there really is no goodbye. We'll be doing guided meditations, exercises, discussing and sharing our experiences. So that will be July 20th. My second class is August 29th, 9:30 to 4:30, and that's called Touching the Divine, Guidance for Everyday Living. And that is one of the things that is important to me, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show, Discover Your Intuitive Self, is because, as you know, I believe we all have the ability to touch the divine, whether it be our spirit loved ones, our, spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, any of those divine beings. They're there to help us on our everyday journey. And once you start developing a relationship with the divine side of life, right, It's just becomes a way of living, okay? So on this Touching the Divine Guidance for Everyday Living class, we will be exploring our spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, and more. We'll be talking about how Edgar Cayce viewed angels, and different religions, view angels, and the various ascended masters and how they can help us. We're going to talk about your own divine nature. Yes, your divine nature, and our personal connection to the divine, which really is just the God of your understanding, right? We're going to talk about how to improve and strengthen our connections. We will take a journey to meet your divine realm helpers, because you have them, and how to seek guidance relative to your life purpose, right? Everybody wants to know, what am I here for? What is my purpose? Well, if I told you it's just to be the most real you can be, you wouldn't believe me. So we're going to go on a journey to figure that out together. Also, opportunities, and also for healing, okay? We'll be using guided meditations and exercises, discussions, and sharing. And I'll also be sharing a personal transformational experience that I had with an ascended master. Yes, and I alluded to that on this show when we talked about when I went to France, and we were trying to locate Mary Magdalene's Basilica. So there's a little hint under the tent, right, as to who the Ascended Master is that we're going to be talking about at my class on Touching the Divine Guidance for Everyday Living, Sunday, August 29th, 9:30 to 4:30. Now, I just want to take a moment here, and I am going to be taking a little break from this show to do a couple things. I need to work on my teaching, these classes. I am trying to write a book as well. And so I would like, if you feel so inclined, for you to follow me on Facebook. You can go to my webpage, brendareading.com. But I just want to take a moment to thank all the people at A1R Psychic Radio for my time here so far. It's been wonderful. The people have been great to work with, Constance, Dave Solomon. And so I want to thank you all for listening as well. And I'm hoping that these classes, that we've experienced together here on the radio show have been helpful in some way to you. So, like I said, if you can take the time to go to the Lilydale website, all right? And that's, again, lilydaleassembly.org, O-R-G. You can not only download and look at the catalog, but you can click on the various buttons at the top, and they will talk about, what is spiritualism. There's a lot of history behind spiritualism, and that is part of it's on the website. But you can also, if you visit the library, you can learn a whole lot more about it, okay? And then they'll also talk about what their beliefs are, and pretty much, it's just we all believe in God, and it's really, very accepting, tolerant belief system. And one thing about it that really resonates with me is that they believe in the continuity of life, that life goes on, and it does, and we know it, right? So that's an important part of their belief system, and that it's in our nature to be able to communicate with those on the other side, and also send healing and to receive healing. So those are very key tenets of the spiritualist beliefs. So you can learn about that too on the website. And also various other topics, because if you go down there, you're going to fall in love with Lilydale, just like I did. And then you can learn more about different things on the website. Okay? So like I said, I have had a ball doing these shows for you. And hopefully, after we get some of these other projects done, I'll be able to come back and we can resume discovering our intuitive selves together. Okay? So thank you all very much for listening. And like I said, I hope I've been helpful in some way. And go to my website, brendareading.com. But don't forget to always, always keep discovering your intuitive selves. Good night. Have a great week.